In today's session, we'll try to learn about some problems related to your resolution repetition method. I'll try to explain you with respect to one example, and later, accordingly, we will try to solve more problems with respect to the same concept. Okay? Yeah. So this is where we have discussed in the previous session. Here again, you can see what are the conflicting terms, how they can be eliminated, and later applying negation to that, we need to get some null at the end of your solution. So if you can see again the terminology, what is involved with respect to your resolution and repetition method, the pair of clauses being resolved is called the resolvents. So here in the first example, you can see the resolvents. The resulting clause is called the resolute. So the final solution, whatever you are going to get, is called your resolute. Here you can see A or B is one clause, and negation A or C is other clause. A and negation A are the conflicting terms. They need to be cancelled or removed. And finally, the solution is B or C. That is your solution. So this is what is called as your resolution process. Okay. Choosing the correct pair of resolvents is a matter of certiorari. You need to very clearly understand what are the conflicting terms. That pair need to be removed, and finally you need to get some solution. That is one important thing according to your concept. So this is what we'll discuss in today's session about problem solving with respect to your resolution method. That is propositional resolution problem solving. So here you can see the question from the given premises 1, 2, 3. That is P or Q is premise 1, P implies R is premise 2, Q implies R. These three premises are given, and you need to conclude the solution as R. So we have done the same thing using your rules of inferences, which you already learned, modus ponens. There are a number of rules, whatever you have learned. And also while teaching about semantic tableau system, I have said about how to apply those rules of inferences and get some solutions. In the same manner, now we need to prove the given conclusion or given solution. The hypothesis need to be proved with respect to your resolution principle. So for that, you need to take a small table. So I want everybody of you to understand it with respect to your own problem solving method. So take a piece of paper or a pen or a book and try to draw a table, and we will try to learn them step by step. That will be easy for you to answer your questions in examination also in a proper manner. Yeah, let's go on to the step 1. So initially we'll try to take the premises according to the given question. So I'm taking the first premise given, that is P or Q. Then I'll go for second step. So here I'm trying to take the second premise, that is P implies R, and I'm converting that into your conjunctive normal form. So according to the procedure of your resolution method, you need to convert every statement or every premise into your conjunctive normal form. Then only a solution is desirable, a solution is accepted. So because in the step 2 or the question premise 2 given here, it is given as P implies R. The implication connective need to be converted into your normal form, that is conjunctive normal form. That's why if I want to convert an implication into or, it is negation of P or R. That is the step 2. So I'll go for step 3. In the same manner, Q implies R, implication need to be converted to your conjunctive normal form. So implication is converted to negation Q or R. So this is how initially you need to start your procedure. Now we'll try to apply the resolution principles, and if there is any conflicting term, you can cancel them and get to your solution. So let's go for step 4. Here you can see, as I said in the steps given at your yeah. So these are the steps we need to follow if you want to get to your solution. The first step is what you have seen in the step 1, 2, and 3, converting the given premises into your OR format, that is your conjunctive normal form. So here you can see the solution what we have got till now. Every statement or every premise is converted into your conjunctive normal form. So now, because all the premises or your are according to your conjunctive normal form, so we need to now go for your step 2, that is negate the desired conclusion. The conclusion whatever you're getting, that need to be taken, and negation need to be applied for that. That is your step 4, what you can see here. So the given conclusion need to be your R. For that I am applying my negation, that is your negated conclusion. Now I'll try to use my above 1, 2, 3, 4 steps and try to go for the further solution and prove the answer whatever I need to get. Here I am taking step 1 and 2. You can see P or Q and P or negation P or R. So P and negation P are the conflicting terms. Here you can see P and negation P are the conflicting terms. So according to your resolution principle, if there are any conflicting terms, we need to cancel them and get some solution. That is QRR is the desired solution from your step 1 and 2. Similarly, we'll go ahead with the next step. That is, I'm taking statements 2 and 4. Why? Because you can see here negation P or R. Here I am having R, and here you are having your negation R. So this can be in any manner. Negation can be in the first statement, or negation can be in the second statement. Need not worry about that. If you are having the conflicting terms with respect to, it can be P or negation P, or negation or anything, they need to be cancelled. So from 2 and 4, I'm getting a solution like negation P. So let's move for the next step again. I'll take 3 and 4 steps, because here again I am having R and negation R. So according to the resolution principle, R and negation R are your cancel, or we call as your resolution resolvents. You need to cancel them and finally get some answer, that is your negation Q. So this is how I got my solution till step 6 and 7. But still I need to get my conclusion, that is your R. So if I want to get that, I need to use step 5 and step 7, because again you can see here, if I say Q or R in the step 5 and negation Q in the step 7, Q and negation Q are cancelled, and finally I'll get the solution as R. That is your solution. That is your conclusion, what you're going to get. So here I have obtained my conclusion, but still I need to see whether a solution will be taken forward or is it the final solution. For that, I'll again use step 4 and step 8. That is what, because negation or and R will give you a null statement. So every time when you are trying to prove your resolution method, you need to get the solution as null here. Here dot is represented as null. So if I use step 4 and step 8, then the resolution solution is null. That is the conclusion of your resolution method. For every problem solving with respect to your resolution method, you need to show your answer as null. That's what I have tried to show you here. Yeah. So here again you can see at the end you'll get negation P or P, and finally you'll get a null point here. In the same manner, for every problem solving with respect to your given question, you need to get it as null. Then only the solution whatever you're going to get is desired. Okay. So I want everybody of you to note this step by step, and then that will be easy for you to understand your solution. Okay. So in the same manner, this is again your summary, like how to solve your step-by-step procedure, whatever we have seen previously, the same steps with respect to another example, like summary of your resolution method, how to solve your problems using your resolution and refutation method. So you'll be given question in the same manner, prove something, prove a premise using the given problems or given premises. You need to use them in any order, any manner, and try to get to your solution. And also finally you need to prove that the solution is not further moving forward using your null statement. Okay. Yeah, you can see one more example here. Initially the premises are given here. You can construct a table and give you a solution, or also you can construct a tree-like structure that will be easy for you to showcase your answers. And here you can see at the end you're getting as negation T and T, which is again a conflicting term, and finally you'll be getting your answer as your null. That's why the solution is accepted. So this is how you need to prove your problems with respect to your resolution method. Okay, yeah. So moving ahead, we will be trying to learn about your proof statements with respect to your first order logic. Yeah. So this is your proof strategies. So it can be done in two ways. One is unit preference, other one is using your step of support. So we'll try to discuss them when we are talking about your next concept, that is your predicate logic.